man. How's everything?
I'm maintaining, ain't complaining, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Appreciate it. Jump right into it. Let's talk about the Preserve My Legacy. How did that come about? And for the people who don't know, what's going on with the situation?
Yeah, I mean, basically, anything that involves giving back to the community or helping people out in need, I'm always involved. Not too long ago, when the school first started, we went to the schools and gave out school supplies to the kids. Things like that I try to do, especially in the neighborhood where I'm from. Because that's important. I feel like when you make it, you come back and lend a helping hand. Preserve Our Legacy is basically over here. What we're doing today is a bone marrow drive, helping out people that's sick.
All right.
Giving them some hope, extending their life.
That's definitely what's up. So what part are you contributing to the Preserve My Legacy? You doing a lot of speeches at schools and programs like the YMCA that we at?
Yeah, we over here at the YMCA today. Basically, a lot of different people coming in and just making awareness. My celebrity, me being who I am, might just help somebody come in and volunteer to save a life. Somebody that's sick and less fortunate. If it's a match, you might be able to save their life.
Alright. I wanted to ask you a question because I saw an interview you did earlier. You was breaking down the year 2011, and you stated that means the year of the king. Can you break down that knowledge, and why did you say 2011 is the year of the king?
True indeed. 2011 is the year of the king for the simple fact that, knowledge is the king. You all know that. You understand what I'm saying? So, 11, you got knowledge. That's the king of the kings. Not the fake king, or not the phony king who just says it, the one who lives out the manifestation that his word is his bone. So I feel like, in hip-hop, nobody's doing that. Nobody is delivering the message to the youth. Nobody is being versatile. Nobody is speaking about what's going on in society. It's just the same thing on every record, party and bullshit, which is cool, but be versatile, switch it up a little bit, and so just explain that. That's why I said that.
To go into that question, I think you made a reference by stating that there's this difference between an MC and a rapper. And to go back on that statement, like I think you said an MC is a person who talks about the time, like you made Law Library to give people idea of the legal system. You talked about Hurricane Katrina. You spoke up when Sean Bell got shot. You made records like that. So for the people who don't know, to go further than that, what's the difference between an MC and a rapper from your perspective?
I mean, an MC, as we all know, is a master of ceremony. An MC is Papoose, a lyricist, for the simple fact that, music is supposed to reflect what's going on. When you sign to a record label, you wear the title of an artist.
Yeah.
So once you wear that title, you should be an artist. An artist is supposed to paint pictures, create, and make people visualize what he's saying, stimulate the mind, not just constantly the same thing. I think it's mandatory that an artist should be versatile. And when you have a rapper, he's just a one-dimensional type of dude. And that's what a lot of these dudes are, And I'm not really knocking them for being that, but I'm gonna say it again, be versatile. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. I think an MC perfects the craft way more, than a rapper.
Do you think that's a problem with today's hip-hop? Do you think it's really the label's fault that rappers are sticking to being rappers, spitting out party and bullshit, rather than taking the opportunity to be an MC?
I mean, I think that, the powers that be, they would rather push the idiocy more out there and commercialize that than let a positive message be commercialized where people can see it on a massive scale and learn something. So that's why a lot of the party and bullshit records are more successful, because they would rather that be successful than to have people like myself and yourself, who got a positive message.
All right.
Something that can inspire other people to do great, because all they want to see is the rich get rich and the poor get poor. You know what I'm saying? So when people like ourselves come up and we educating people and teaching them different things, they don't want that. But it goes way further when you speak your mind, be creative, and reflect on what's going on in society. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I do what I do. I'm very versatile in my music. I feel like there's no type of music I can't do. But just to answer your question, I think that's why, it's like that. And yeah, they are influencing artists. It's a known fact they influence artists to make bullshit records,
Is that one of the reasons? Because I think K-Slay had cleared it up of why you guys decided to leave Jive, didn't want to be involved in a lot of A&R mess or bullshit, to be Pacific.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that's why you're sticking to independence, or are you looking for a deal, or are you comfortable where you at?
Nah, I'm comfortable where I'm at. I always been comfortable. Before I signed with Jive, we was a machine. Myself, K-Slay, my whole team, we was a moving machine that was in full motion. I was touring overseas before I got there.
Wow.
I was doing everything, you know what I'm saying? So for a label to come into our situation, they had to come with a lot. And to make a long story short, you know, we was kind of aware of a lot of the bullshit games they play, so our lawyers was prepared for what eventually happened. So, you know, luckily we was able to leave that situation with a lot of money and some good records, you understand what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, more or less, when we got out of there, you know, we came in the front door and we left the back with the money, you know what I mean?
Like, let's educate the people real quick on contracts for a lot of up-and-coming artists who's getting in the game who might sign that deal real quick.
Yeah.
Like you said, you left Jive with the money.
Yes.
Not talk about the amount, but you left with a lot.
Yes,
so the importance of, importance of artists reading contracts, producers getting a production credit for publishing and royalties. What's the importance of being aware about the industry before you sign it?
It's very important because there's a lot of snakes in this industry. You understand what I'm saying? And the beast must hunt in order to survive. They must eat or for other people. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important to know the business. And I'm still learning myself. Don't let me sit here and say I know it all. It's still a lot of things to this day I'm learning about the business. So I'm navigating through a little bit more smoothly at this point. But it's just a shame what I had to sacrifice, you know what I mean, to get to the point that I'm at and have that knowledge. But to read your contracts and, you know, negotiate your deals properly is very important, because that could be the difference of you signing on a label, sitting on a shelf, getting dropped, ending up broke, you know, having your talent violated, as opposed to you being successful and feeding your talent to the world on your own, because you don't really need record labels. You know, the tables are actually turning on them right now. You know, the music is in our hands, it's in the people's hands, and it's up to you, you know, what you want to do with your music. I always tell artists, they come to me, yo, you know, what advice can you give me as far as, you know, being successful in the music business? And I tell them, yo, put your music out, put it in the street. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I followed the dream of hoping somebody would just come along and sign me, you know what I mean? And that never happened. When I took the initiative to go in the studio, pay for my own studio time, press up my own music, press up the CD, took the picture, put it out, that's when I started getting results. I put my music in the street, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it is.
Now, you were on the infamous XXL cover. That was a big cover a few years ago.
Yeah.
And to talk about the industry, people at the time looked at you to bring the East Coast back because you had the buzz of the DVDs. You had the big record. I think when I was coming out of high school, 2004, Alphabetical Slaughter, everybody was trying to quote that. So you had a big buzz behind you. Do you think you lived up to the, how do I say, the buzz that was coming up behind you with you coming off that cover, and the type of buzz you had coming in at the game at that time?
Yeah, I think so. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to get into hip-hop when I was a child. And what I considered success at that time, you know what I'm saying, and what they consider success in the music business now,
two different things.
Totally two different things. So when I look at what inspired me and what wanted me to come into the game, I made it, man. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I wanted to do was stimulate people's minds, as you said I did.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? People wanted to quote Alphabetical Slaughter. I broke down all 26 letters of the alphabet one by one. You understand what I'm saying? Law Library, I got brothers calling me from the penitentiary saying thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way home because of Law Library.
Wow.
I'm running to them in the street. So, you know, I just wanted to influence the population of the world, and I was able to do that. When I went overseas and I started performing, and then people, some of them couldn't speak English, and they knew my lyrics.
Wow.
You know, I felt successful. When I met Big Daddy Kane and he knew who I was, I felt successful. Cool G Rap. When I sat down with Nas, you understand what I'm saying?
Wow, that's big.
And we did a record together. When Busta Rhymes first called me, all these dudes who were living legends who I came up listening to and who I idolized, when I got to meet them and they knew who Papoose was, I felt like I made it. But as far as the industry is concerned, I got a lot more to offer. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting warmed up, and I got a lot of things going on.
Let's talk about you getting warmed up with the King of New York mixtape. Now, you named the title the King of New York. Did you do that intentionally? Did you care about a fallback or a lashback, or did you just say, I'm gonna do it anyway?
Yeah, nah, I don't care about the lashback. I don't care how nobody feel about it. They should be able to realize that by now. If they don't, they're crazy. You know, because the simple fact, like I explained to you earlier, you know, I sat back for the entire 2011. I put out music, I was productive, but before I fully went full blast, I just analyzed what was going on. You understand what I'm saying? And to be in the time that we in, it being 2011, I'm analyzing there's nothing going on in the music business. There's nothing going on creative, there's no artistic, it's nothing, it's just empty. And you know, it was time to let it be known. King of New York. That's why I did it, and I am the king of New York. Like it or love it. Do your homework.
It's only one person I'm gonna comment on that said something kind of not negative, but he basically gave an interview, and it was Red Cafe. I don't know if you heard the interview where he kind of said, yeah, whatever, Jay-Z. Did you take offense to that?
No, I didn't take offense to it at all. Like I said before, I don't know if you've seen it. I actually spoke on it before. You know what I'm saying? You know, he said Jay-Z was the king of New York. I think that spoke volumes. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, you know, some of the examples that he made, it had nothing to do with what I was saying. You know, I don't think money or none of that determines your talent. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with it. Right. You mix the apples with bananas. But I spoke on that already though. I want y'all to pull that up if possible. You know what I'm saying? It's on the internet. I spoke on it. You know what I mean? But honestly, I didn't feel like he said nothing disrespectful though. Right. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like he said nothing disrespectful towards the king. You know what I mean? Like I said before. You know, he made his response when they asked him the question, and that was that. You know what I mean? So that wasn't about nothing. But I am the king of New York.